And we're recording. I love this.
Is that an evil laugh or a good laugh? I don't know.
It scares the crap out of us. No one knows.
Nicole, you didn't.
I know.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. We're here.
What did you do? Yeah, I don't know.
You know, before show stays there. You know, we can't talk about that.
I don't even know what this. Where are we?
We're in Canada.
We are.
We're collecting and connecting, bro. Come on.
It is ThunderHour.
Oh my
Absolutely.
goodness. Episode 83, Collectin, Connecting. I'm KingBrett. We got Coultin. We got BananMac. How are y'all today?
Better that ThunderHour is here.
Oh my gosh, I know. We're super excited to have him
ThunderHour.
back.
Thanks for having me back.
The man, the myth, the legend, man.
I believe this is my third time. I don't know if you've got any guests 3 times yet, but it's got to be towards the top, right, of the leaderboard.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. We officially just created a Collected and Connecting leaderboard, folks.
Someone text Reba.
It's why we have you on this program. You always bring the goods. Same thing that you do with Badge County and everything you have your little hands in. You always make it better.
Well, I appreciate that. I love leaderboards, so I figured I'd bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
Wallace, Isaiah Joe, Michael Cage. Who do we want to talk? I'm at the top of a lot of leaderboards.
I don't know. Do you want to talk about your meet and greets? Do you want to talk about your Vegas? Do you want to talk about your collection? Where do we go?
Where do we start?
Yeah, I've had a busy season. A lot of fun. Yeah. Of course, I met Coultin in Vegas at the NBACup.
You can vouch. He is a real person. He's not AI. Yep. It's not a robot. It's a real person.
Yeah, I saw all these like photos at the finals, all these different things. I'm like, this can't be real. Like,
I know, right?
Does this guy exist? Is Luka yelling at him? You know, I don't know. But he's real. He's real. He's a fun time and he's a good guy. It was great to be out in Vegas for the Cup, minus the fact that my Thunder lost. That part wasn't the greatest, but everything else around it was amazing. A lot of fun. Couldn't have asked for a better time.
Man. How much notice did you have before you got sent to Vegas? This is my burning question because just don't know if they got lost.
1 hour.
Yeah.
So it's a great question. I got a text at 6:30 at night on Monday, and I was on a plane at 12:45 the next day. So less than 24 hours, I was at the Cup. I was in Vegas. So yeah, it was a quick turnaround. I was a replacement, so I wasn't the original person that was supposed to go. What?
You still count. Replacements, lives matter.
Exactly. I'm here for it. I was happy that I got a text, and yeah, once I got that, I was like, I have to go. Right? I was like, tell my wife, I've got to do this.
Wait, so how did that conversation go, honey? I have to tell you, I have this great opportunity that is in Vegas tomorrow.
Yeah, that's exactly how it started. But then the first question out of her mouth was, "Does this cost you?" Because right,
that's a good
quick
question.
Trip. Yeah, a quick trip. That's going to be
normally goes with spending money.
Yeah, exactly. And so when she found out that TopShot was sending me there, she's like, "Yes, do this," and it was a lot of fun. So I was on a plane that next day.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, so much fun. I think I arrived 2 hours before the game, met everyone at the hotel briefly, walked over, had a little dinner. I know a few people had some dinner, and then walked to the game and had some fun outside the arena. I thought that part was kind of cool. You had the ESPN pregame there, Stephen A. Smith taking pictures, Big Perkins taking pictures, that kind of thing. Just kind of a lot of fanfare. Not like your normal NBA game. So I go to a lot of Thunder games, and they become kind of standard in a lot of ways at some point. But this was all the fanfare, kind of everything around it was heightened. So.
Were you out there like jumping, trying to get in pictures, taking pictures, meeting people, or were you like I'm a veteran. I'm gonna be low key. I'm cool. Like,
I don't know. Like I took a distance selfie with Stephen A. I thought that was kind of cool.
nice.
And I met a local Thunder podcast guy out there.
Nice.
Took a little picture with him. Kind
Way
of
better than like a flash going off at dinner when you're trying to be low key and take a picture of everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Who would do
No,
that?
I mean that was the things. Like everybody was genuinely having a good time. I mean that was it. And our group, that was what was cool about it was when you kind of go to an event like this with a bunch of other collectors that kind of have the same shared, fandom and enjoyment for Top Shot and all those different things. It's easy to connect real quick. It's easy to just kind of get to know each other. You see Discord names, you see, usernames, and you're like, who are you? And you put everything together. Yeah. And that was a lot of fun. It was just fun to like these people I've been communicating with for a couple of years. And, it was like, oh, hello, nice to meet you, And so that was a lot of fun. And I actually really didn't know who was going to be there because it was such late notice.
Sure.
Coultin was the only person I knew for sure that was going to be there. But other than that, it was kind of a surprise, who was going to be there. And so that was kind of fun just to like see who else was going to be there and meet them all and have fun together.
And I heard it was a cool kind of mix of collectors, right? Some new people, some people that have been around a while.
Mm-hmm.
Even Roham like got in the mix for dinner, right? So
absolutely. Yeah, no one seemed to want to sit next to Roham at dinner, so I'm like, I'm gonna take the chance, right?
Oh,
have a chat, right? Have a chat with him, and it was really good. It was really fun, good conversation, fun to meet him, and just share kind of.
Is that your first time to ever meet him?
Yeah. Yep. First time I ever met him. Yep. And I feel like I could have just kept talking and sharing everything I wanted. It was just like, I got the time. I'm going to talk, right? I'm here in Vegas. It's probably not going to happen again. It's just
you were next to him for a reason. Did you pass him your bill at the end of the night too? You were like,
yeah.
There's a chance that happened. Yeah. So that was cool.
What was your did you give him suggestions on things, or what's like your number one thing that you want to see with Top Shot?
So not really suggestions. I was just kind of like, one thing I'm kind of passionate about is like elevating the collectible experience and the ownership around it. So they've done a few things recently, but I still want to see, of course, some more fun things, ways that you can show off your collection, ways that you can kind of make it yours. Even the simple things like recently where you can do the share links and it kind of shows your username with the serial number and the serial indicators if it's a jersey serial. That kind of stuff's really fun. I like that. But that to me that's like step one, and so kind of just shared not necessarily ideas, but like, hey, well, this is important to me, as a collector. I'm sure he wouldn't have been there if he didn't value, wondering what we wanted to, share or say. So kind of my thought was just share what we value, and hopefully that translates into new things on Top Shot. That's kind of my main thing that we talked about, I guess. Trying to think back exactly, but I just kind of love the moments. I know Coultin talked about this as well. Like I want the moments to matter as much, as possible. And that's because that's what I love about Top Shot. And so any way we can elevate that experience and that like part of the collectible is good,
Yeah. And I mean, at the same time, it's not every day you get to sit down next to at dinner with the CEO of Dapper Labs,
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, hi, I live in Oklahoma. Where do you live? I live all over the world. Thank you. It's like, okay,
that's
cool.
actually kind of true. But
queso, or is that all for you?
Yeah, right. No, and what was cool is like he genuinely seemed like to care and be interested. It wasn't like this like oh, I'm showing up as a, as a CEO. No, I'm showing up as like someone who cares about the customer and that sort of thing. So that always feels good, as someone who's like we've talked about, like spent money on this stuff and cares about it, and that sort of thing. And so
it would have been easy for him not to be there, right? Like
exactly, yeah.
Just to hang out with some collectors and have dinner,
Especially people like you who are team captain and you're in Badge County and everything else. Like that is someone who is working pretty much for TopShot for free. Like that right there shows like how much collectors care. So I feel like him coming in with that same attitude is so important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think kind of all of us on this podcast are ambassadors for the product, right? I mean, whether it's TopShot, whether it's floaty, whether it's the things that kind of fast break, all the things we enjoy, and we do this with our friends, right? We do this with our friends that we're meeting on the internet, friends that we know in real life. I know 3Ball and KingBrett, you guys kind of have that friendship in real life and sort of thing. And like those kind of things are important. And it's a hobby to me, and I want it to be like the best hobby it can be and the best product it can be. And so I think we all want that, right?
Yeah, there's so much potential with it.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see it be fun again, as Coultin would say.
Ooh, yeah, TopShot fun again.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my hat to come in.
Yeah,
well, I mean, I think it is fun for one. I know like sometimes things can get, the vibes can turn not great and whatever, but like honestly, I as like a captain and as someone who leads Badge County, it's like, well, it's kind of up to us to make this fun. Because if it's not, if we can't like help make it fun, well then I don't really want to be around. You know what I mean? So it's like I try to generate as much fun as I can because like I love basketball and I love the product. So I'm gonna create ways, even if it's not directly coming from TopShot themselves. Like I'm gonna create ways that this is fun, and whether that's meetups, whether that's little trivia things or whatever, just fun ways to interact with the community is kind of always top of mind for me. And I think we can see like values dip or change or whatever, like that does matter. But I do think like we got to have like some perspective of, well, this ultimately is like a hobby, and we can't, and I don't want to be a part of something if I'm not having fun. So I'm going to have fun regardless. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so,
well, that's one of the things you've always done such a great job at Badge County, right? Is creating and cultivating a fun, exciting environment. It's why y'all were one of the premier, groups and communities out there, right? TopShot and C&C started after, Badge County, and y'all were kind of like a blueprint of having fun and getting collectors together for the right reasons.
And I think
like that's what it's about.
Yeah, I mean that's why I've always, gravitated towards C&C. We have a lot of the same like shared ideas and values of how we're gonna do this. You know what I mean? Like we want this to be about the community. We want it to be about having fun. We want it to be, about a lot of those things. And so I just try and focus on that. And then when I have opportunities to share feedback, like I did, I mean, in person, that was pretty crazy. I mean, I don't get that every day. I'm going to share feedback. I mean, I was as honest as I could be, like, I'm not going to obviously be super critical, but I'm like, but I'm also going to be like, hey, like this is great, but can it be better? You know what I mean? Or showcases, they were a cool thing 3 years ago, but how do we make that a more modern version in 3 years later, and stuff like that. So I just, it's like I don't like to like settle for things. I mean, in some ways I do. I'm sure I settle in things in life, but like if I'm building, like I have a business, like if I'm gonna just settle for second best, that's not what I want. You know what I mean? Like I want to try and kind of cultivate the best I can be, and I think a couple of ways is like I talked about. I think the product can improve, and I think like there's got to be like this, and and maybe this came out recently. I feel like just like addressing some things, but like to me, that's like service, like customer service. Like be attentive to your customers, you know, and I think, you know, and that's to me the best way to like win in business, you know what I mean, and win for the product, you know, and so that's kind of what I hope for. That's what we talked about.
Well, and for the record, I know I speak for me and Nicole and Brett. We're still having fun.
Oh, for sure.
We're just trying to help bring up the vibes for some negative Nancys out there, and maybe
I get it. No, I get it. I mean, I'm right there with you. It's not. I wasn't saying that you weren't. It was just like one of those. It's all around us, right? It's the internet for one is always like a place. Whether it's Top Shot, whether it's, you know, politics, whether it's anything, right? It's like this isn't always the best place to hang out, but we can make it better, right? We don't have to live in that, you know. And so that's kind of where I know like both of our communities are passionate about, like, let's collect, let's connect, let's bring those
positivity.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my thing. How do you bring someone in if you're tweeting at it negatively? If you're shitting on Top Shot all day, why do people want to join it?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that's like why my Twitter stays positive.
The people that say that are the ones I shouldn't
go there.
I shouldn't even say anything.
Come on,
but like, the people that are bitching, the ones that are shitting on Top Shot the most are also the ones that have the most to lose. So it's like,
doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
No,
if you shit on Top Shot, I look into your account to see when you purchased last, because there's some of y'all out there who are shitting on the product every day and you're buying every day. I like that. Why are you buying packs?
We need to start exposing them.
No,
I mean, that's the reality, though. That's like kind of what I was trying to get at. It's like, well, if this is something I enjoy, why would I, especially publicly, be super critical? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me, because like it's something I enjoy and it's something I want to enjoy. So I'm not like, if that was the case, I'm just gonna be done. Like, I'm not. I have lots of things I can do that are fun in life. You know what I mean? And but this is one of them, and I obviously value it. I'm doing a podcast about it, right? So let's
and like you said, like, totally fair to have complaints and concerns, but like there's so many more constructive and productive ways to address them. And what I always want to say to some of these angry Twitter people is, like, channel that energy into going to your local card shop and onboarding someone. Like, just go onboard someone instead. It's amazing how that will be way more effective.
Yeah, fun fact. I was at the airport on the way to the Cup, and there was another Thunder fan on his way to Vegas. We were on the exact same flights.
Nice.
And he saw, I think I was wearing a Thunder shirt, and he's like, "You going to the game?" Yes. And I was like, "Well," I'm actually getting sent there by Top Shot. And he's like, it rang a bell to him. He didn't really know where. He couldn't really remember. And I'm like, well, you know, NFTs, you know, video highlight, collectibles, whatever, you know, and then it like registered. Oh, I created an account, you know, 3 years ago. And he's like, but I don't have any moments. And so what was fun was like the 15 minutes waiting to, you know, get boarded on the plane. We just talked about Top Shot over the next, you know, that little bit of time, found his username, sent him a couple moments, got a few people in Badge County. I think we sent him like 8 or 9 moments, you know, all Thunder moments, you know, and it's like, you know, it's a fun way. Like, and this guy, like, he's like the perfect guy that would be interested in Top Shot. He's going to Vegas to watch the Thunder, you know, so he's spending money for his fandom. He enjoys the idea of it. When I kind of was explaining it more, he's like, oh, you can sell this like right now, you know, or, oh, you can, you know, buy for $1. He actually enjoyed that you could buy stuff for $1. He's like, oh, I'm like, AJ Mitchell, our rookie, you can get him for $1 or $2, you know, and that's a fun thing to some people, you know what I mean? And so that was cool. You know, it was like, I don't know where it will go, but it's like an interesting, fun little use case for like, oh, if you just like share how much fun you're having. It's kind of like some other people might. And this guy's like, oh yeah, I collected cards, like you said, Coultin. It's like a lot of that's me. I mean, I grew up collecting cards. That's why I think this resonates with me so much. Is I grew up collecting cards. I didn't collect one, I got married, started having kids. Like you just kind of don't find room for that stuff a lot of times. And and then COVID hits and there's nothing else to do. And you're like, well, I guess I'll look on the internet and see if there's anything fun. TopShot pops up, and you start hearing about it. And I mean, honestly, I find this much more fun than collecting cards. And so,
I do too.
I think there's just like a whole wave of people that don't even really know it exists. And if like they could kind of grasp everything, I think it would kind of click for people. It's one of those deals where you just have to like get it in front of people,
Totally.
Well, let's think about let's look at it from this person's perspective, whoever it is. You met some cool OKC Thunder fan waiting on a flight. You start talking about basketball, and this guy all of a sudden sent you a bunch of free moments that you now own, and then other people sent you free moments which you now own of the team that you love and are flying to Vegas to go see. And this guy's going because he collects those moments. Like this guy's gonna be like, TopShot is awesome. I'd be telling everyone, right?
Yeah,
That's the grassroots movement of word of mouth, and like that's why at C&C and BananMac does so many giveaways and does such an awesome job of burning and different stuff. Y'all at Badge County do the same thing because you understand that like bringing joy, excitement, happiness, making Coultin yawn, like all these things. It's what we need to get TopShot out there to the people that care and we're going to love and going to want to buy moments and sell moments and go to games and like hang out, Yeah. I just think it's such an important point.
And I think one thing TopShot did really great recently was with Fast Break, letting new users play the whole run with any moment, because that lets them dip their toes in it. Because beforehand, I know I was helping a lot of new users just like going through their account and sending them like 20, 30 trade tickets that they can use to play with, because it's like, I don't want to say it's discouraging, but if you've never played the game before, how much money do you want to invest? And do you know about Cody to know you can get the moment for 22 cents opposed to
most people don't. Right.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and honestly, Fast Break is a great way to like onboard new people as well. I mean, I don't even think I brought up Fast Break, mostly just because of time, I guess, and like whatever where the conversation went. But like, yeah, it's a fun game. Like it's genuinely a fun nightly game to play. And, it's cool that our collections can have utility that, I mean, I know the last run I got like 5 different packs. I think I got like 2 daily packs, 2 Grail Seekers and a 9-win pack. And, I mean, I think I ended up getting like 2 rares, several rookie debuts. So it's like, to me, that's a lot of fun. You know what I mean? And it, and like I already was going to collect all this stuff anyway. So like I honestly mostly see it as a bonus, but even if you don't see it that way, like it's quite a bit of, utility if you, I mean, and you got to be kind of good. You got to kind of know your stuff and follow it a little bit, which is also makes it fun. Cause you don't want it to be like, oh, well, everyone gets a prize just for playing. Like, no, like you have to know the game. You have to, see who's playing, those sort of things. But I find it really fun. I mean, I set my lineup usually. I know a lot of people like project it out through the whole run, but I just like to set it every day.
Me too.
Like once a day, like, because to me, it's just kind of fun to like, oh, the next day happens. And I can, if you set it too far in advance, like, well, it becomes boring at that point.
Yeah.
Or not as, and injuries. Exactly. In the NBA, there's every night, like, I feel like one person from your lineup's iffy, So,
especially this year. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a great, I mean, fantasy game, for lack of a better term, or whatever you want to call it. Like it's a fun game that I think is creative and really there's not, I mean, there is things that are like it in the world, but it's kind of unique to TopShot. I think like you know, you have pick 'em over under type stuff that's kind of like this, but to me, this is kind of just a fun way to bring it all together, you know.
Another thing that I mentioned to Roham that I would love to see, and I've talked to people at Dapper about this too, is that I want to be able to have different lineups in different leagues. And I think we might see, I don't have alpha on this or anything, but like over Christmas, we had that separate run where you could enter. Games. But like, I want to have a league where you have to use jazz moments, like for jazz game, you know what I mean? Or like only TSDs to bring some utility to like, you know, your Top Shot debut stuff. There's so many.
Imagine like only rookies.
Right? Like how fun would that be? Only 24, 25 rookies.
Only like, TSDs or whatever. Only, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That would go. And then I don't care if Top Shot doesn't want to fund the prizes for that. Like, we have the groups in place. Like we could have a Collectin and Connectin league where this run, you have to use Top Shot debuts and everybody chips in $5 to enter this league. Winner take all. I don't care. I would do that.
Yeah.
So many people would do that.
I'd be the banker for the league.
Yeah, you would.
Oh yeah.
You'd find a way to like fund a loan with the money and like grow the money.
I made us $8 we all share.
Yeah.
I'm in.
There's a prize after 30 days.
I do think one area of Fast Break that can really be enhanced is the league thing. Because I know there is leagues right now, but they're like not well built out yet. They're you know, they're kind of just static and you can never change them. You can't gate them. You can't do. And I think if you improve that, like you said, it becomes this like, you know, side thing with your friends that, you know, like we're playing all as a community, like there's 7,000 or whatever it is per run or 8,000 or whatever. Like that's cool. And we all talk about it. But I do think like, oh, can I take, you know, 50 of my best friends or 12 of my best friends and kind of have a little side thing going on or whatever. And I think that's important just to kind of, like you said, make it more diverse and robust and whatever the words are. But I would probably put most of the resources in that direction is like, as far as like leagues, if I was kind of, navigating where it goes from here, you know what I mean, and improving it. Well, and then the separate runs, like you said, is important too. I think you got to be careful though, like maybe one at a time here and there. Like you don't want to like, I don't know if you want to like do it constantly, you know. I think it's like find creative ways, like, hey, we're doing a rookie debut drop, then you can only use rookies, or hey, we're doing a hollow icon drop, this is only for the hollow or MGLEs or whatever, you know what I mean? Like for this run is all about that, you know, and kind of just do.
But what
like
if it's up to the league manager, the person that creates?
Oh no, for sure, yeah, for sure. Like I'm saying, if Top Shot themselves do it, yeah, no doubt. I'm here. I'm with you on that.
Just a way for everyone to be involved. Like if you love collecting Top Shot debuts, it's nice that you can benefit from that.
For sure.
But anyways, Jared, I meant to ask you earlier when we were talking about the Cup. Do you think that there were more Thunder fans or more Bucks fans there?
Honestly, was there a lot of either? I mean, that was kind of my thought. I didn't really notice a ton of fans from either team. I mean,
less than I thought.
Maybe I was like kind of tunnel vision, just kind of excited for the moment and didn't really pay attention. But yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe you saw it differently. Who do you think?
I noticed that there weren't a ton from either, but I think it was like 60-40 Thunder, if I had to like guess.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think one thing about the Thunder is like, obviously on the Bucks you have Giannis, who's become a household name. But really, the Thunder the last year have become kind of that lovable team. Yeah. And even if there's like some, like, you know, people that aren't necessarily a fan of any team, they might just choose the Thunder because they're kind of more fun, maybe, or just kind of more. Dogs. Yeah, right. They're dogs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're young. I mean, they're kind of always fun to like. yeah, it's always kind of fun to root for the young team that's kind of up and coming, I think.
So. SGA.
The
right?
People in front of us.
Yeah, Canadians.
The people sitting in front of us, that remember that kid sitting in front of us was super knowledgeable. He was just a Vegas local that didn't care.
Oh yeah, he was just excited to be watching ball. Yeah, that was actually really fun.
Yeah. And what thing that I mentioned this at the Cup, something they gotta fix is they gotta bring in the in-arena voice of whichever team has like the better record.
Yeah.
That in-arena guy needs to come and do the game, because it was so Vegas-y. Like the in-arena dude was like
an announcer guy.
Yeah, you could tell that he had no like it's okay. Like it just would be more I thought it would have added to it if it was more of like it would seem more just like a boxing announcer guy. Like,
yeah. And I wonder like if there was a way to incorporate just even like the music and some of that stuff. It was so like generic that it was like, well, you know, when you have no team you're rooting for, it's kind of like the environment kind of becomes a little less exciting, you know?
Yeah, it was very neutral. Yeah.
It's almost too neutral. Like it almost like, it's almost like it should have been like, hey, the first quarter and the third quarter, we're going to do like all Thunder stuff. And then the second and the fourth is all stuff. Just to make it like feel more natural. Because I don't know. Like I said, you go to games at like the home market and you're like, oh, well, this makes sense. Like they're hyping up, you know, SGA, they're hyping up, you know, defense, you know, like there was none of that. And so it's like, I think there's definitely ways they could improve that.
Or just be more hype for everyone even would have been cool too. Like,
oh yeah, exactly. Like I know I remember specifically like the beat like was just constant. It was like the same loop beat of like it was just generic, and it was like well, I mean it's like okay, but there's no breaks in it. There's no like extra emphasis anywhere. It was it was weird. Like I mean that's what I was saying. It's like I mean I'm really happy I was obviously there. Like the game, it was almost weird. It kind of felt a little secondary to like the whole experience, if that makes any sense. Like if I was at home, I would have been pissed because like the Thunder would have lost and I would have been like all mad. But because it was like, you know, all the hoopla around it was like what kind of was fun. And then of course being with all the other collectors, like we kind of just had a ton of like side conversations pretty much the whole game. I mean, looking at
it was different too.
Opening packs, whatever.
MSG, I know some arenas have, I know Staples Center, MSG, I'm trying to think what other arenas have like a very dark seating area and then the court is very bright. That's how Vegas's was. And I was different for me because the Delta Center isn't like that.
Oh yeah, that was different. It felt almost like, well, it almost felt like too much performance, like almost like a
concert.
Like a performance rather than a basketball game.
Yeah,
like,
and they gave us those corny bracelets with the lights on them that all go off like you're at a Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah. You're a Taylor Swift fan. Did you have one of those?
Yeah, you already know.
You brought it from her show.
Yeah.
But no, it was a lot of fun. I mean, and you know, it was cool. Like I'm number one on the Case and Wallace leaderboard, which, you know, is cool to me, you know, and I met a guy.
Flex.
No, but I met a guy that is like number 4 or something. And he was like number 2 all year last year.
Oh, that's right. I remember when you guys put that together.
Radman, and he got so mad at me, like, cause he finally put 2 and 2 together. He's like, I'm never going to catch you. Am I? No, you're not. You know, like I've got it locked up, you know? And he was like, I was trying to catch you all year. And I'm like, yeah, I knew you were trying to catch me all year and I kept buying stuff, you know? And it's like, it's kind of fun to put that together. It's like, we had this competitive thing going on and we didn't know each other. And then we met and that was fun. And it's like a connection that we'll kind of always have, you know? And it's like, you see this username and it's like kind of almost has no, life and soul to it, but once you meet them, you're like, oh, this is a real fun person,
you are real.
It wants to, he was just telling me how much he loved Cason Wallace and how he plays and his defense and whatnot. I'm like, those are the things I like too, and it's just fun to like see that from other people. But
I would love to hear all those things y'all just talked about into moments, like in-game announcer into a moment, right? Like introducing the player.
Or could you imagine a Mike Breen bang in a moment?
I will say there is I don't know, I don't listen to every moment, of course, but like Isaiah Hartenstein, his Fresh Threads moment, it has the in-arena announcer saying, welcome to Oklahoma City, Isaiah Hartenstein, or checking in for the Thunder. And that was kind of cool. Like, it's a cool touch that we haven't gotten before. And, Hartenstein's been great for the Thunder this year. And he has been a huge addition to us. And it's like, well, that's kind of it made like I talked about making the collectible better. It kind of elevated it. Like, whereas now I'm going to want that, fresh. It's special. It's his first game. It's his introduction to the team. And, if we go on to win the title, with him or something, like, that's going to be even better. You know what I mean? It's it's kind of, and so I just think there's it's obviously not like at warp speed. Like it's like fun though. You know what I mean? Like improvements are subtle, but they're better,
That's something I liked about the rookie revelation set so much. I love that draft day footage and seeing your guys drafted in the beginning. Like that shit's clean.
And now with the audio.
Sorry, 3-ball.
Yeah, you got to fix that. But yeah, with the audio and everything, like those moments to me are elite.
Yes,
way better.
100%.
That's
so. Jared, before the season started, I was predicting that we were going to have a Mavs-Celtics rematch. I did not place money on that. I'm glad. I do not think at this moment that the Mavs are going to make the finals. I'm sorry, Brett.
Whatever. If I had to pick a team to go other than the Mavs, I would be picking OKC. So I'm okay with where this is going.
So,
sorry, I had a cough.
I do think that the Celtics are coming out of the East. But I got to be honest. I think the Thunder can come out of the West.
I mean, of course, I'm going to agree with you, right? Like,
I don't know. Well, can you tell me a little more?
The one thing that I think people don't kind of realize is like right now, Chet's out, and he's legitimately our second best player. So I know that kind of like might surprise some people seeing Jalen Williams, like how good he is, but like Chet's probably our second best player overall because he's just good on both ends. But
absolutely,
what's interesting is he is a great defender, and if you go look at the stats, the Thunder's defense is like historically good.
Yes.
So we shut down everybody, and we're holding teams to like 103 points a game, which is really low in the NBA these days. We create the most turnovers by far, like steals through the roof. If you need a steals night for fast break, just start the whole Thunder lineup and you have a good chance. It's kind of one of those things that I think sometimes we forget how important defense. I mean, the Celtics, like we can talk about Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, all those guys, but the reason they won the championship last year is because their defense is awesome, and I think that's who I would choose for the finals right now is the Celtics and Thunder. And a lot of it's based on that. And SGA, I mean, he just can close a game. I think that's what separates the best teams, too, is like, obviously the Mavs have Luka, Kyrie. That's why they made the finals. Like they have closers. They have guys that can show up in the big time, and I think I would like to have a second guy. I think Jalen Williams could get there or Chad or whoever, but like that might be like one of our somewhat weaknesses is like we need maybe that second guy to like fully prove that he can do that.
Right.
But I think our depth, I think like getting the experience last year against the Mavs, taking them to 6 games, like I'm pretty confident. Like at this point, if we don't make the finals, I'll be pretty disappointed because, you know, I just think we're that good. And it's like the Wolves have kind of taken a step back. The Mavericks, I don't think have taken a step back. Luka's hurt right now. That's not great, but I think, you know, he'll be back and whatnot. So it's like, I still consider the Mavs like the biggest competition out of the West.
Yeah. I would love to see a Mavs Thunder rematch. I think everyone would.
Yeah.
What's interesting is like the Grizzlies are playing really good this year and it's kind of going under the radar. I don't really know how good they are for sure, but like they definitely they're winning games. So like,
yeah.
Right.
And you know, I think they can kind of get things going, but I want to see them in the playoffs as well. Like they weren't there, of course, last year. And so it's hard to know, like, is the team going to bounce back? The playoffs is so much different. That's what we
getting to the playoffs.
That's what we don't talk about like in the NBA enough is the game is so much different in the playoffs. And that's why you got to have closers like Steph, LeBron, you know, like you got to have those people. And I think SGA, Tatum, Luka, that's like the next crop of stars that's going to win the next 5 to 7 titles, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's like the guys that we've seen before, LeBron, Steph, Durant, their time's over as far as winning titles, in my opinion. But who's going to take that? You know, someone's got to take that over, right? It's got to be somebody.
Grady Dick and the Raptors. I love that you all think that.
Raptors Jazz 2033 NBA Finals.
Oh my God. If I'm watching this back in 2033, if this happens, I'm gonna like pee myself. He called it. Why is he so damn smart talking to Luka?
Hey, rebuilds are fun though. Like the Thunder were there just a few years ago. Like so,
I'm not having fun.
Well, I mean, you need. What needs to happen is the Jazz need to hit on a pick here. They need to hit like a superstar with one of their top.
Yeah.
Then your mood will change.
Cooper.
There you go. Right.
I know. Yeah, and we also
Raptors will do it too. I think. Yeah, they can. I mean.
Yeah, the Raptors.
Well. They're just not winning.
No, they're not. Hey, but the Jazz also have the Wolves pick, so it has been a pleasant surprise to see the Wolves slowing down.
You like hitting a voodoo doll or something?
Yeah.
I mean, we like them. I love Rudy, and
there goes Ant's knee.
Yeah.
Like, this is the best day ever.
Yeah. Take him out.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think that the Thunder are deep enough. It's going to be interesting come playoffs when defense is key in on Shea, obviously, and limit him just like they did Luka in the finals. Like,
in my opinion, it's going to come down to which of those teams are the healthiest.
Yeah,
because if you look at SGA last year, like if he was healthy the whole time and like Luka healthy the whole time, like these games, these outcomes are drastically different if people are healthy or not healthy, right?
Well, that's why the Celtics had the easiest road to the finals.
Correct.
Mind treat of that for when he listens.
Yeah, but they didn't have Porzingis the whole run.
Just oh, jeez. Yeah. I love that we've all decided who's going to win the championship over the next 3 to 5 years. It's obviously Oklahoma City and Dallas, pretty much. What we've all decided.
I think the Celtics are going to repeat, just for the record.
Don't you talk with that beautiful beard, saying dirty words?
I mean, it's hard to say that that's wrong, but of course, I'm cheering for the Thunder.
I heard the butt, so I'm going to agree with what comes out.
I want a 7-game series. I definitely want a 7-game series.
I just don't want to see Torque and King have to go through another year of treaticus and the Celtics in the finals. Like, I feel like that's a lot for them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm not. It would be kind of great to see them cry after they lose. Like they don't even make it to the finals.
I feel like last time I was on the pod with Treat, he like would not stop talking about the Celtics winning the title. So it's
You're correct.
Yeah, he's talking about it right now.
We weren't even talking about the Celtics, and we were bringing it up. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He keeps trying to jump on, and we keep kicking him off because we're not going to hear it.
It's yeah.
I'm rooting for OKC. I said it like weeks ago.
Well, thank you.
I like SGA. He's a hometown kid.
Oh yeah, you had my guy Mr. Kicker on recently. Yeah, he's a good dude. Good dude. And I was like, I'm thinking OKC for finals.
Yeah,
love it.
Conference finals against Dallas, definitely.
I can tell you, like, Raptors aren't even going to hit playoffs, so I got to root for somebody here.
You don't know that. Anything's possible.
No, I know that.
No,
I'm pretty confident. I've watched a few Raptors games.
Yeah. They'll
making the playoffs.
Get the swing of things by next year, hopefully. But no.
Last name was embarrassing. But Kelly O's a GOAT.
Yes, also Canadian.
Yes.
I just like Canadians, guys. I feel like
it makes sense, right?
I mean, you are living in Canada.
But you know what's crazy about the Thunder that I was reminded of when I was at the Cup game is that they look like a damn football team.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Canadians, Lou Dort, that dude's a linebacker.
Lou Dort is a large man.
He is.
Yeah.
He's huge.
Yeah, I mean, Casey Wallace is bigger than I thought too. Like in person.
So one thing, not to go like super deep in the weeds on the Thunder because I could go there, but the Thunder always draft like big for their position. That's kind of one thing that they look at. So they want their guards to be bigger than most guards, and they want their wings to be bigger than most wings. And they're, you know what I mean? So like I know that's interesting because like last year they didn't have a very big team, but that's just because they didn't have their they didn't have a chance to get Hartenstein yet. Like they filled that need now, but now we got two centers, that are really good. But like all of our guards are like play above, their height. They're big, and Shea's 6'6". I mean, I think people kind of forget that. For a point guard, it's that's why like we lead the league in steals, and that sort of thing, just getting in the lanes and stuff.
I'm not gonna lie, I love watching Shea and Luka going against each other. Like when he was guarding it, like it's just so much fun to watch.
No doubt. So it's always fun to watch the best play the best in the world at something, anything.
We got to get Luka to play just like a smidge of defense, though, Brett. Like,
I mean, yeah, I pray,
bro. Just a
little. That's the one thing Luka's got at least is he's got size too. So like, even just his size helps him on defense. He moves very slow, but he can.
If his friend Jokic could tell him some tips or like help him in any way. Like
he defends the worst guy, so it doesn't really matter. I mean,
Coultin courtside, and he'll tell him.
Man, I'm just saying. Look, people need to really start worrying about Luka when he stops complaining and he just starts playing basketball. That's when all of you should be very terrified. I mean, when I think he's going to get there at some point.
Okay,
it's going to be scary.
I think he's the best offensive player in the NBA for sure.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that's very debatable. I mean,
yeah.
He can do and SGA is obviously up there, but like but like the thing that Luka has really over SGA, the main thing he's got is his passing is potentially the best in the league. And then he can probably make the three more consistently. So like SGA from the mid range is is unstoppable. But it's like
hold up.
Luka just has it all on offense. He can get his teammates involved, all those things. So
well, that's the best place we could ever wrap up. Luka's the best. Oklahoma is probably going to win it all, and definitely not the Celtics.
Okay, yeah.
That's pretty much what we learned here, folks. And I'm okay with that. As long as it's not the Celtics. Yeah, whatever.
Real quick before we leave.
Oh,
I had this
sure.
thought.
We
Where's
have
three ball
17
at?
more
Where's three ball at these days? I haven't seen that guy's face in a minute. Like he texts me all the time, but I need to see him.
He's giving King notes behind the scenes, you know.
I guess, but
so it's actually AI. I am.
this whole time. Okay.
My beautiful fat face over his skinny tall face.
Okay.
That way, when I say dumb stuff, KingBrett gets blamed for it, not me. Three ball. I.
There we go. Now my mind is blown.
That's what it is. I buried KingBrett a year and a half ago, right? I took his ownership, and yeah, he's gone. It's all me. I mean,
wow.
Yes, hi, I'm KingBrett. Three ball. Hello.
Look at you go. Way to go.
Message and say, bro, get on a pod.
It's like he's messaging me to get on these pods, and I'm like, where are you at? Is he ducking me?
Busy.
Like, is he ducking the Thunder? Or what?
I don't think we're supposed to tell anyone, but I'll make this announcement. He's actually been training to join the NBA.
Oh.
You weren't supposed to say anything, bro.
I wasn't in a moment that bad.
He is going to be one of the top new NBA referees in the world. And in the world, I mean the United States, because that's where the NBA is.
We could use some better refs. I think we can all agree there.
I'm just saying, I'm not supposed to say it, but I said it. Sue me, but I have no money because I smell broke. So whatever. I don't care. Sue me, dude. Yeah, three ball. Everyone wants to see your face, or one of them. So please.
Yeah, at least me, right? So I don't know if I've heard it on any other pods, but I'm bringing it up.
Well, I'm glad that you did.
You're making him show up.
Time for three ball to step down from his pedestal and.
He's a full-time producer now, right?
Yeah.
Pause the reffing and just show up.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's it.
All right. Well, thanks for the explanation. Now I know.
You're welcome. Alpha, you're welcome. You call me the king of alpha, three ball. I mean, KingBrett. Geez. ThunderHour, it's always great having you on. I love hearing about Vegas, the meet and greets, just Oklahoma City. I love hearing you say positive things about the Dallas Mavericks. That always warms my heart.
During the regular season, I'm willing to do that. But
yes, I know. That's why I'm making a very positive, clear statement now, because I know when it comes to playoffs, you pretty much want to push me off a cliff.
Yeah.
Of course, I'll land on soft mattresses, but you still want to push me off. Man, last thing before we leave, it's a new year. Anything you're excited about for 2025, whether it be NBATopShot related, family related? Let's all share one thing we're excited about, and we'll wrap this up with Celtics aren't winning on 3. So let's start with Coultin. You're looking upwards. That means you're really searching for something. Letters.
I am excited to see what I got it. I'm excited to see what the Master Challenge moment is for the MGLE set, because I'm completing that set this year.
Let's go.
And I'm very excited to see what the Master Challenge reward moment is.
It's going to be dope.
That's going to be dope, and you're probably going to be in it.
Last year, it was like obvious who it was going to be, right? But like, I don't feel like it's very obvious this year.
Green deck.
He already got his MGLE, right?
You can't get enough.
No, I forgot about that.
There's rules now. So
Jared, what do you think? Who we getting?
Oh, I have no idea. I mean, let's see. SGA has he? I don't even know who's gotten MGLE so far, right? I mean,
I know Chet did. SGA has not.
Chet did. So I guess I'm pulling for SGA, right? That would be the ideal
next
person I'd root for. Now I'm gonna have to buy it on the secondary market because I'm not doing the challenge, but I would enjoy it. I own a very scarce MGLE of SGA. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
No, it can't be Steph. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm excited for a few things. The Thunder are going to have champ badges at the end of the year on their moments for this year, so that's kind of fun. You know, it's like always
sounds like
that night of the finals when they add those champ badges. I know I'm excited. I'm an exciting person. Like I get excited for little badges on
Nice
them.
Yeah,
rocks,
I do too.
And then a little personal, like I have 2 teenagers, both going to be driving by the, this year. So that's one's already driving, another one's going to be driving. So I don't know if it's exciting or nervous or what, but
it's exciting.
You're going to have to run so many.
It's kind of fun having teenagers. I will say it's like just cool to have teenagers.
Go to the store, get some milk.
Exactly.
You don't have to do it anymore.
Exactly.
Like they can go do it for you.
Yeah.
And they want to do it because they want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm going to the store to buy milk.
Exactly. But yeah, my oldest daughter's like really into the Thunder the last couple of years. And so that's fun. She literally says the day of a game, what time does it start? All those different things. She watches from start to finish, which is kind of crazy.
That's awesome.
So that's fun. Yeah, I get to go to games a lot. So that's also exciting.
Super awesome.
BananMac, what about you?
Well, I didn't meet my floaty quota, so I guess I gotta talk about that. I'm excited to fund loans this year. I'm hoping to break 300. That's my goal.
Whoa.
I hit 185 last year, so I think.
Whoa, let's go.
I think I can do it. So this is my goal for floaty. And if I hit 300, I'm gonna DM them and ask them to send me another hoodie. So
that's reasonable. I think that's a reasonable ask. I was too.
I live in Canada. It feels like it's a lot to ask for. Okay,
you gotta get floaty tattooed on my face. I want a beanie.
Hey, for real though, floaty's awesome. I've been buying 55-cent Isaiah Joe NBA Cup moments for the last few days. It's it's fun. It's fun to get moments cheap, and it's fun to get moments that you really enjoy, like without the big fees and all the grails and all those things. Like I use floaty all the time.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's awesome. I can't wait to log in for the first time ever. Again, I've logged in and out. And then I was like, it's confusing. I log out.
I almost fell off my chair.
Yeah, it looks different on your computer than a phone. But the only time I use a computer is like right now.
Are you like trying to ruin 2025 for me? Being like,
no, I'm trying to encourage. I'm trying to give you a secondary goal, like reach 300 loans funded. Help Brett log in successfully, do something.
I just feel like the 40 episodes we've been on together, you would have been like on floaty. I feel like you've lied to me now.
No, you can go back and fact check. I've logged into floaty. I've looked at it. I've tried to do something, and you and the wonderful floaty crew have sent me tutorials, and I've never watched them. I'm just being honest.
Okay,
it's mad easy.
I come to Texas. I'm going to teach you everything about floaty, and when I leave, he's going to be in a beanie, a hoodie. He's going to be having dreams of floaty.
I'll get a temporary tattoo of floaty on my left arm.
Damn, the left arm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's serious.
You have a tattoo on your left arm. You know what that means.
Yup.
3-ball. No, edit that out too. 2025. Man, I am excited to see where Top Shot goes, what happens, some of the sets, some of the moments, some of the improvements. I already love some of the stuff that came out at the end of 2024 of rewarding set, like lock sets and stuff like that. So definitely excited about it. Excited about the 2025 season too. Seeing kind of where all the Badge County collecting and connecting all the cool stuff that we're going to do this year. And then also excited about spending time with family. I got to spend a lot of time with family at the end of the year. Want to keep doing that in 2025 because it's easy to get lost in all the other stuff in the world. And it's also cool because your family, sometimes they listen to you. So if you can get your family excited about Top Shot and all of a sudden your niece and nephews have some moments, then you're like the cool uncle and it's an easy gift every year, birthdays. Hey, I just sent you a moment, and they freak out. They're showing all their friends. So that's also 2025. I'm getting my niece and nephew some Top Shot moments.
Let's go. So force family fun. That's what I'm talking about.
That's it. Making it fun, continuing to make Top Shot fun.
Yes.
That's it.
Let's go.
Well, fam, episode 83, historic, possibly the first three-peat guest ever. 3-ball's going to fact check it. we may have to create that leaderboard officially. Man, have fun out there. Watch some basketball. Buy some moments. Watch your moments. And have a great day. Peace out, fam.
See you guys.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in. And if you haven't yet, check out our merch store at Shop Collectin and Connectin. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next Tuesday.